What's up, everyone? Welcome to today's video. Welcome to the Video Game Fight School channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. Today we're going to be talking about vulnerabilities. I think this is what has always gotten PlayStation fans whenever they come out to talk about how they think, PlayStation is superior or Xbox is inferior. They may not categorize it as that, but that's usually where they're coming from. Like, I've been talking a little bit more about MLB The Show. I've been talking about how this game was developed or is being developed by a PlayStation studio and actually goes to Game Pass directly since 2021. What's crazy is the conversation is that somehow MLB was the one who made this decision, but somehow PlayStation fans have twisted it to be MLB forced PlayStation, which is not what the news article says, because forced would mean PlayStation had no choice when they did have a choice, like walking away from the deal. Many of you know how people make deals, always be willing to walk away. If the deal did not benefit them, they could have walked away. They could have gone to make a generic baseball game like Konami made with PES for years. And I think somebody was saying this long missive. I've never seen anything so long in my life. Like, I don't know what sports games are and licensing is. It's just so funny to see. Many of you remember, if you played PES, we used to mod the kits and the emblems and the names of the teams into PES, even though they had to make it just generic and get whichever, licenses from individual clubs that they could afford, when FIFA was basically, in cahoots with EA back in the day. And these vulnerabilities are very funny because PlayStation fans will make these arguments and somehow not see that they themselves on the PlayStation side are in the exact same situation that they're calling Xbox players delusional for. When I make a video, they call me an Xbox fan or whatever it is, of which I've stopped caring, except maybe when I'm bored, I'll make a video and tell you how I'm not an Xbox fan. But to me, I'm not really bothered. I think you're just trying to maybe distract from the argument. So this person said, no, Sony will never release any of their IPs or franchises willingly to Xbox unless they're forced, like they were with MLB, as that was not so a Sony decision. My dude, MLB did not have a gun to the head of PlayStation Studios to make the MLB game. PlayStation was not forced to make the MLB game multi-platform. They were given new terms, and then they had the option to check box yes or check box no. They had the option to choose to do what they pleased to do, because the development team was their development team. And they said, yes, willingly is written all over MLB The Show going to Xbox. And there is nothing you can say unless you're basically accusing MLB of some kind of, I don't know, not ethical, or maybe, I don't even know how to put it. How do you say that they force another company? That's coercion. That's coercion. That's not legal. Don't go around saying stuff like that. And then they said Sony are still competing in the console business, and exclusivity is something they still value very much. They value it, but you PlayStation fans don't seem to value it enough for them to want to value it enough. And so that's why their games are all on PC. Regarding Lego Horizon going to Nintendo is completely something else, as Nintendo does not share the same market as PlayStation and Xbox and aren't a direct competitor or rival to PlayStation like Xbox is. This is a huge miscategorization in the highest order. Just because they're not a direct competitor, according to you, doesn't mean that they are not competing significantly. Because on any given day, they could be a direct, and on any given day, they could be an indirect competitor. This is just the reality with all the three of them. In fact, not until PlayStation started bringing its stuff to, PC, did it stop being a competitor to Nintendo, because both platforms kept all their games on their own hardware. It never went anywhere else. And it was Horizon Zero Dawn that really did show how much of a competitor that they were. Because of their business model, players had to make decisions. And people went to buy Zelda Breath of the Wild over Horizon Zero Dawn. Obviously, they're competitors because they're not only in the hardware space, they sell software and games to a similar audience. They even sell similar games, open world RPG action game. Both games, similar genres, Zelda and Horizon in a sense. And they competed against one another, and Zelda beat it out for having name recognition and everything that fans would have loved from a Zelda game. Simply That's how you explain it. I don't know what this talk about they're not competitors is. So it's because of convenience you're making this. And then this person said this: Xbox fans have become insanely delusional after Xbox decided to go third party. Can you imagine a person that's a PlayStation fan saying that another, fan base is delusional because their place of play, their former exclusive box, has now gone third party, while this same person's exclusive box is already third party? I mean, they literally had to leap through 2 games to get to this third paragraph. The first game was MLB The Show, by saying that somehow it wasn't their choice. They forced them. Then they came and did another explanation of saying it's different with Lego Horizon because they're not a competitor. But that was not the standard you're actually setting. You said because they decided to go third party, just the same way PlayStation decided to take that Lego Horizon game to PC and Nintendo Switch. And just as they decided when they were given a checkbox to either keep making MLB The Show multi-plat or bounce, and they said, we'll make it multi-plat. This is vulnerability on all fronts. It's like you're trying to carry water with a basket and you just can't seem to make it. And this person said this. They said that decision, they claim, this is the Xbox fans, that they are 100% behind the decision of Xbox going third party. But deep inside, so now they want to be a mind reader. If you're an Xbox fan, watch out, Professor X in the house. They aren't happy about it. Whoo! This is not the whole definition of hubris. I've never seen anything like this in my life. I can't help but feel that so many pro Xbox channels are coping, as most of them are often uploading videos regarding if Sony is going to do the same to Xbox. It's crystal clear that they want something in return from Sony. No, they don't. That's why they're not even bothering money having games. That's why Xbox is freaking out about them. Look at this. Look at this leak. Go find it and read it again. Read the whole thing. But it's not going to happen. Sony is not a software company like Microsoft. Is that right? Yet they've released how many games already? Yet they've money had it how many games already? Those games are software, my dude. Oh, goodness. And they won't share the same business strategy in this industry. My dude, they already are following Xbox's business strategy. So I replied and asked if they could prove that Nintendo does not share the same market as PlayStation and Xbox, because they obviously do. And I've told you guys, just in that Horizon game, this was already a thing. I cannot imagine how you can make an argument and not think, wait, can this same argument be used against me? And then you didn't go ahead to think about that. Wait, who have you been talking to? Have you been talking to the same people in an echo chamber, or have you actually come outside and talked to other people on the streets? Because on the streets, it's brutal out here. This ain't your favorite PlayStation podcast. Oh my goodness. And you say I'm an Xbox fanboy? If I was an Xbox fanboy, do you know what I'd do to you? Do you know the drag that you would get? This is me just being cordial, just saying, hey man, this is, right here, your argument's leaking. Like you need to plug it. And this is me just telling you, like, your argument is weak simply because the same argument will be used against you. It's that simple. The goal for all these companies is to get money out of this stuff, and however they can get the money, they'll get the money. And do you know what I've even refused to do in all of this conversation? I've refused to even go look up the sales for MLB The Show. I don't even know it. And I actually told myself, no, I'm not even going to look up the sales, because the sales are going to basically poison the argument. We don't even want to go there yet. Now, I will visit it. Don't get me wrong. Hopefully, I plan on visiting the sales numbers. And what I'm probably going to find with the sales numbers that probably made MLB say sure is exactly what I suspect that I might find. And it's just a hunch. I'm not making any conclusions just yet. So please, by all means, keep blaming Xbox fans for being delusional for what Xbox is doing while PlayStation is doing it. You will continue to make yourself look very, very strange in front of everybody. You basically will be standing and saying, oh, here, I have a huge basin full of water while everyone's looking at you. Your feet and your pants are wet with water. And people are like, did he just try to bring us all that water in a basket? That's literally what I'm doing as I look at a lot of PlayStation fans try to argue their way out of this stuff. Out of a Lego game. Literally a Lego game. And a sports franchise that pretty much has a very niche audience at the end of the day. Yeah. What a sense of humor God has, in the way that divinely things just happen in a strange way. And look at PlayStation fans defending PlayStation's lack of straightforward messaging. Oh. And y'all said Xbox was a mess. I'm not even in the mood yet. We'll see how this plays out. Thanks for watching the video. Peace out.